Five friends who call themselves disruptors get an invite to a weekend hangout from the richest of the crew, and they find a detective among them. It turns awful when someone drops dead. It becomes clear that there's an actual murderer in their midst. Like the titular glass onion, this mystery has layers. But also, like the titular onion, this mystery is fairly transparent about its culprit. We just have to make our way past all the distraction to see the murderer for who they truly are. Let's put on our best southern drawls in honor of Benoit Blanc and break it down. During the COVID 19 period, Claire, a politician, Lionel, a scientist, Birdie, a fashionista, Peg, Birdie's assistant, Duke, a social media influencer, Whiskey, Duke's girlfriend, and Andy Brand, the ex co owner of Alpha, are invited to a murder mystery weekend on a remote island by their common billionaire friend and current and only owner of Alpha, Miles Braun. Along with them, the world's best detective, Benoit Blanc, joins the party. As the weekend gets near, they all meet in Greece by the water. Blanc realizes he is the only one who isn't a mutual friend of Miles, and they ask if he knows Miles before. He tells them he has never seen Miles before, and they assume he is invited because of the so-called murder mystery. He asks if the vaccination has happened before, and Claire informs him that they have met like that for the last 10 years. And this is the first time he is inviting someone who isn't a part of their clique for the vacation. The ship arrives, and the attendant tells them to remove their face mask. They all remove their mask, and he injects them with a substance, after which he tells them they do not need the face mask again. As they all enter the ship, they see another person coming, and to their uttermost shock, it turns out to be Andy. They all keep shut without welcoming her as she joins the ship and stands alone. Blanc notices the mood changes when Andy arrives, and he asks Lionel about it. He asks if Andy isn't their mutual friend, and Lionel tells him she is. He says she was Miles' business partner and a friend, and she started the Alpha business with Miles. Suddenly, Miles cuts her off the business with a lawsuit, and he lets her go without giving her a penny. Blanc wonders why Miles will invite someone he has bad blood with. But Lionel says the most important thing isn't why Miles invited her, but why she honored the invitation. They ride towards the riverbank, and they eventually get to Miles' private property. Birdie runs to greet Miles immediately. He sees Blanc and wonders why Blanc is there, and when he sees Andy, he is shocked. He appreciates her for honoring his invitation, and he tells them they all should go to their rooms to change, and they will meet in an hour at the Glass Onions. As he leaves, he calls Blanc. While Blanc is excited about being invited to the party, Miles asks who invited him. Miles says he made 5 boxes, and he is sure his supplier couldn't have made more. Blanc asks if they could have set the box again, and they assume that's what happened. While Blanc is uncomfortable with the autonomous invitation, Miles claims it will make the holiday fun. After some time, they all meet at the pool, and Birdie shows her concern to Peg as regards a press statement Miles asked her to write. The press statement will destroy her career, and she remembers when Miles wasn't even fit to be her friend as he was too poor. Later, they sit together, and Blanc asks why they all are friends. While Miles claims they are all disruptors who try to do what they want, Andy steps in and says the only reason why the others are Miles' friends is that they are seeking his help one way or the other. She walks out after saying this statement, and Claire walks after her. As Miles attempts to go to his room, Peg tries to meet him to beg him not to allow Birdie to write the statement. Peg claims that if Birdie's career ends, then her career will end too, but Miles insists she must write it. Duke also sees Whiskey flirting with Miles on his bed. They meet for dinner, and he shows them the onion glass. He shows them the Mona Lisa he has lent and tells them the whole building will be visited by several delegates in a few months because he has decided to launch a new compound called the Clear, a hydrogen-based alternative fuel. Lionel immediately says it's impossible and he can't launch it. Lionel reminds him that if Claire goes wrong, then his entire career is at stake, and Claire, who will help him, approve the project. Lionel begs him to let them test it before few years, but he says the whole building is powered by Claire. He claims them and they sit for dinner. He tells them about the murder mystery, asking them to solve it, and Blank solves it immediately. He angrily takes Blank to the room to ask why he did such. But Blank tells him everyone in that room has reasons to kill him. In the sitting room, Duke says he is leaving for the following day, and the others agree. Andy asks them if she is the reason why they are leaving, so Claire confronts her. She asks Andy why Andy came, saying that she knows her presence will be discomforting. She asks Andy if she is requesting an apology, and Andy says she just wants to know why they did that to her. Duke stands to tell her the reason. He tells her they all are hanging on to Miles and playing the same game. But she lost in the game, so she isn't a victim. She doesn't know how to play, and she walks out angrily. Since her discomforting presence has gone, the others decide to stay, and they start playing. Miles tells them of Blank's concerns, and coincidentally, later, Duke drinks from Miles' cup and dies from poison. They also realize that Duke's gun is missing, and while they are there, Miles informs them that as a part of his game, the light should go off soon. The light goes off, and everyone scatters. Blank finds Andy and asks her if she took Duke's gun, but as they talk, someone shoots her. The light returns and he explains that he got the box from Andy, who turns out to be Helen, Andy's twin sister. Helen tells him she found Andy dead after committing suicide, and she finds the last email to the members of the Disruptors telling them she has evidence against them. Helen hired Blank to find the cause of her sister's death, and Blank advises that she comes looking like Andy. When they meet again on the island, he tells her that he realizes everyone here has reasons to kill Miles, so none of them could kill Andy for Miles. Helen narrates that 10 years ago, the group hung out at the Onion Glass, and as of then, they were nothing. Andy found potential in them. She brings the lifetime idea and writes it on a napkin. 10 years later, Miles finds out about the Clear and he wants to invest the company's entire money on it. Andy refuses, so he takes her to the court on the intellectual property of the company's ownership. The others testify that it was Miles who wrote the paper, and after Andy loses the case, Miles will bring a fake paper out to the public. Andy finds the paper she had written, and she sends it to them. That's the last mail. When they get to the island, Blank asks Helen to snoop around and find out if anyone has a motive while Miles interrogates him. She finds out about the Clear and how it would affect Claire and Lionel. Then finds out about Bangladesh sweet shop issue with Birdie and how Duke needs Miles to help him with his YouTube channel. They realize all the gangs have reasons to protect Miles by killing Andy. However, Claire tells Helen that she called her when she got the mail and they all visited her house without finding her there, although she says Duke got there earlier and Birdie later. Blank and Helen assume that even if they were the ones that killed Andy for Miles, then the person will have the envelope with him, and he tells Helen to find it. After the argument with the gang that evening, she walks out and searches everyone's room. When the light goes off, Miles shoots her with a gun, which he stole from Duke. She survives because there is a journal where the bullet lands. But Blank forges her death so he can buy her time to find the envelope by the glass onions. When she eventually returns and meets Blank saying the story, Blank tells them Miles visits Andy after finding the mail and kills her. Duke comes there and sees him going. Although didn't know Andy is dead. While at the party, Duke finds the news of Andy's death and confronts Miles because he wants something in return. Because he's allergic to pineapple, Miles stains Duke's drink. Helen brings out the napkin with the intellectual property and tells Miles that the napkin has something that Miles' own doesn't, which is the glass onion bar signal. Before she knows, Miles burns it. He tells them they don't have evidence against him and no one in that room will witness against him, so it's his words against Helen. Blank also admits they can't win, so it's all over for Andy's legacy. Helen retaliates by pushing over one of the Miles' glass sculptures. One by one, his former mates join in, until they are all in an orgy of destruction to work out their impotent rage at him and at themselves for tethering themselves to him. What finally snapped their loyalty was yes, that he killed Andy, but it was also the realization that he didn't care about them and was using them. Helen's final play is to destroy Miles completely. Just like her sister Andy warned, Claire is far too unstable to be used as a power source. Helen launches a nugget of Claire at the fireplace. Just as she had noted earlier on, Catherine Hans Claire realizes they are in the middle of the feared Hindenburg. The glass onion explodes and the gang realize that they really ought to testify against Miles. Blank and Helen wait for the police to dock at Miles' completely useless Banksy designed jetty. Enter the Beatles to play us out. But of course, this is Knives Out mystery, and inevitably there's more happening here. Why does Miles hide the napkin rather than burn it in the first place? Well, Miles is a guy who's just really bad at making plans. Claire kills him and ensures he'll get his wife to be mentioned in the same breath as the Mona Lisa. It's just that the breath is going to be saying Miles Braun, the guy who destroyed the Mona Lisa with his incredibly dangerous fuel. So he's done forever. His mate smashing those artworks is weirdly enough a reaction that fits Miles' view of the world. He talks about disruption as a series of incrementally bigger transgressions and non breakages. Eventually, they work up to destroying the one thing, as he puts it, that nobody once destroyed the Mona Lisa. And unconsciously or unconsciously, following Miles' credo, they show how useless it is. And Miles' murders are the essence of what makes him such a charlatan. Like his glass onion building, they look complex, but there's nothing in the middle of them. They are hackwork. They are stupid, reflexive decisions dressed up as ingenious plans. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap.